Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. Although it is generally believed that after Qin Shi Huang unified the six states, the Qing dynasty came to an end when Emperor Qin Ershi, Huai, was overthrown. In fact, after Qin Ershi, there was still one more emperor, Qin Sanshi, Ziying. Ziying's reign lasted only 46 days. When Liu Bang's army entered Guangzhou, Ziying chose to surrender, and the Qing dynasty truly came to its demise. Although Ziying was the last emperor of a fallen dynasty, he was not an incompetent ruler. In fact, just 5 days after ascending the throne, he decisively executed the powerful official Zhao Gao. According to some historical records, at the time, Zhao Gao held immense power and could act with impunity in the court, even daring to point at a deer and call it a horse. Moreover, Qin Ershi, Huai, was murdered by Zhao Gao. Had the timing been different, Zhao Gao might very well have become emperor himself. Yet, despite Zhao Gao's overwhelming influence, Ziying had the courage to eliminate this menace and restore order to the court. This boldness and decisiveness can be compared to that of the later Emperor Kangxi, who executed the regent Oboi. Unfortunately, by the time Ziying took the throne, the situation of the Qing dynasty had already reached an irreversible point. Despite his actions, the circumstances no longer allowed for any chance of recovery. Soon after, Liu Bang's army arrived at the capital of the Qing dynasty, and Ziying was forced to surrender. Liu Bang, showing mercy, did not kill Ziying. However, shortly thereafter, Xiang Yu took decisive action, and after entering the capital, he executed Ziying and set fire to the palace, burning it to the ground. Because Ziying's ascension to the throne was rushed, and his reign was so short, coupled with his swift death, historical records about him are very scarce. There is even no record of his birth date or the identities of his parents. So, what exactly was Ziying's identity, and what was his relationship to Huai? The earliest document that mentions Ziying is in the Shiji, biography of Meng Tian, which records an important event. When Emperor Qin Shi Huang died, Huai, influenced by the powerful official Zhao Gao, falsely claimed to be carrying out Qin Shi Huang's last will and seized the throne. In order to completely eliminate the influence of the Crown Prince Fusu, Huai decided to imprison General Meng Tian and his brother Meng Yi and planned to execute them. At that moment, when the court fell silent, Ziying stood up and persuaded Huai. He said, "The Meng brothers are long-serving officials and strategists of the Qin state, with noble character and great prestige. If your majesty, for a moment's trust in others, executes them, this decision will not only be unwise, but it will also cause the ministers to lose trust in you and demoralize the army, making them lose their fighting spirit. I urge your majesty to think carefully." However, Huai insisted on eliminating Fusu and his supporters, completely ignoring Ziying's advice, and eventually executed Meng Tian and Meng Yi. From this event, we can gain some important insights. Firstly, Ziying's insight and ability far surpassed those of Huai. He was able to clearly analyze the position of the Meng brothers in the court, as well as their influence in the army, and understood that executing them could shake the very foundations of the Qin dynasty. Therefore, Ziying urged Huai to reconsider. Secondly, Ziying's willingness to step forward at such a critical moment and speak with the tone of an elder also indicates that he held a very high position, likely as an important member of the Qin royal family. According to mainstream historical views, Ziying is believed to be the son of Fusu, the elder brother of Huai. This is supported by a statement in the Shiji, Annals of Qin Shi Huang, which says, "The elder brother of the second emperor, the son, Ziying, was made the new king of Qin." This suggests that Ziying's identity was indeed related to Huai by blood, and he may have held a significant position within the Qin royal family. However, the theory that Ziying was the son of Fusu clearly has some issues, the biggest flaw being the discrepancy in ages. According to the records of the grand historian, Shiji, when Ziying first ascended the throne, he feigned illness to avoid attending court. He then secretly discussed a plan to assassinate the powerful official Zhao Gao with his two sons. If Ziying's sons were involved in this plot, they would have had to be at least adults, not teenagers. Although historical records do not provide an exact birthdate for Ziying, we can estimate it based on some known events. When Qin Shi Huang died, he was around 50 years old. According to Qin customs, kings typically underwent the crown ceremony at around 22 and usually married around the same age. Assuming Qin Shi Huang married at 20 and had Fusu at 21, Fusu would have been 21 when Ziying was born. If Ziying was born when Fusu was 21, then 3 years after Qin Shi Huang's death, Ziying would have been no more than 10 years old. Clearly, a 10-year-old child could not have participated in such a serious plot to assassinate Zhao Gao. Therefore, Ziying could not have been Fusu's son. Another theory is that Ziying was Qin Shi Huang's son and Hu Hai's elder brother. This theory primarily comes from a passage in the Chronicles of the Six States, Luguan Nianbiao, which states, Zhao Gao installed the second emperor's brother, Gongzi Ying, as the new king. This suggests that after Zhao Gao helped Hu Hai ascend to the throne, he then made Hu Hai's elder brother, Ziying, king. However, this theory also faces significant issues. We know that after Qin Shi Huang's death, Zhao Gao and Li Si conspired to support Hu Hai, but Hu Hai was young. If Fusu or another elder legitimate son had been present, Hu Hai would have had no chance of becoming emperor. Therefore, in order to ensure Hu Hai's ascension, Zhao Gao and Hu Hai had all the older brothers, including Fusu, executed. If Ziying had been Hu Hai's older brother, he would not have survived this massacre. Thus, Ziying could not have been Hu Hai's older brother. So, what was Ziying's true identity? The most plausible theory is that Ziying was Qin Shi Huang's younger brother. We know that Qin Shi Huang's father was King Zhuangxiang of Qin, who, in his early years, was held as a hostage in the state of Zhao, during which he fathered Yingzheng, later known as Qin Shi Huang. In the 50th year of King Zhao's reign, Zichu, King Zhuangxiang, took the opportunity to escape Zhao and return to Qin, with Yingzheng being only 3 years old. Upon returning to Qin, Zichu claimed the throne and fathered many sons. Among Zichu's sons, aside from Qin Shi Huang, Yingzheng, one of the more notable ones was Lord Chang'an, Yingchengjiao. However, it is highly likely that Ziying was another son of Zichu. Let's examine if this theory fits with the age calculations. When Zichu returned to Qin, Yingzheng was only 4 years old. When Zichu died, Yingzheng was 13, meaning Ziying was likely 4 to 13 years younger than Yingzheng. Based on this, when the Qin dynasty fell, 3 years after Qin Shi Huang's death, Ziying would have been between 40 and 49 years old. If Ziying's sons were around 20 to 29 years old, it would make sense for Ziying and his 2 sons to be involved in the plot against Zhao Gao. As for Hu Hai's ascension, Zhao Gao once attempted to usurp the throne himself, but faced strong opposition from the ministers. Ultimately, Zhao Gao did not dare to declare himself emperor, instead bringing Ziying forward to serve as emperor. This indicates that Ziying was a highly respected figure in the Qin court, one whose presence could command the loyalty of the people. Liu Bang spared Ziying's life because Ziying was Qin Shi Huang's brother and held significant influence in both the court and among the people. Executing Ziying might have sparked fear and rebellion among the Qin people, destabilizing Liu Bang's political situation. In conclusion, based on these inferences and evidence, we can reasonably conclude that Ziying was likely the younger brother of Qin Shi Huang. It is also worth mentioning that historical records show that most imperial tombs in the Qin state were located near the capital. For example, the tombs of King Zhao, Crown Prince Dao, and King Zhuangxiang were located in Ziying, while Qin Shi Huang's tomb is at Lishan. As the last emperor of the Qing dynasty, Ziying's reign lasted only 46 days, and after his death, his burial site was hastily chosen. Due to various reasons, his tomb was not marked with the traditional burial mound and city wall as was customary for other emperors. Even the direction of the tomb did not align with traditional burial customs, and no clear records have been found. Nevertheless, being buried near Qin Shi Huang's tomb would align with ancient burial practices. In 2003, archaeologists discovered a large, rectangular tomb located to the west of Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum. The tomb is oriented north-south, measures approximately 109 meters in length, 26 meters in width, and about 15.5 meters in depth. Based on its size and shape, renowned archaeologist Yuan Zhongyi, who was the former director of the Qin Shi Huang Terracotta Army Museum and is regarded as the father of Qin terracotta soldiers, speculated that the tomb likely belonged to a royal figure. He proposed that the tomb's owner might have been the last emperor of the Qin dynasty, Ziying. Although there is no definitive evidence yet, this tomb located near the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang may very well be Ziying's final resting place. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.